Alright, all praises, honor, and glory are due to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. The Most High's name is Yahweh, His Son's name is Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, alright, whom we do serve through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the brothers out there doing this work in sincerity and in truth. Shalom also to the believers, the helps, and the few sisters. Alright, now this is going to be hopefully another short video on what I think to be an important geopolitical move by the European Union, right? Specifically as it relates to prophecy, right? So we basically we're just going to bring out the article, right, and then just bring out the scripture, which it seems to be fulfilling, right? Because we know right now we're in the last days, the last minutes of the last days, when all the prophecies of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai are coming to pass. We see that this third world war is right around the corner, right? We see that the economic collapse is also looming. You know, the RFID microchip is every day creeping closer towards being mandatory, right? So we see all angles of the last days coming together in the prophecies, right? So this is just another that we're going to bring out, right? This image of the mother of harlots, we know it's talking about America, right? She's the whore, which Revelation 17 and 18 speaks about, right? Now there's a specific scripture that speaks about the 10 horns hating the whore and burning her with fire, right? Now this new development on the European bloc, on the European continent, right, is very significant as it relates to this prophecy, right? And we're just going to read the article, then just read the precept, and that's basically it, right? So here we go from RT, right? Now I won't read the entire article. I'll just post the link so brothers can read it, but I'll just bring out some key points that are, you know, related to this breakdown, right? So it was published yesterday. EU army approved potentially saddling UK with £420 million annual bill, right? So that's the new thing coming out of the European bloc, an EU army, a European army, right? Aside from NATO. Let's continue. The EU Parliament has passed a resolution that to create a defence union in the wake of numerous threats in the continent. The proposal slapped the UK with an annual bill worth hundreds of millions of pounds, despite Britain's vote to leave the bloc. Right? So let's just get down to the important parts. Well, for this breakdown. Alright? I'm going to just jump around a bit. The resolution envisions dedicating 2% of member nations' GDP to defense, as well as establishing EU multinational forces to allow the bloc to act in any situation in which NATO will be unwilling to. So this is a separate entity from NATO. We know that NATO is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which includes not only European nations but also America. Right? So the EU army will be only the European nations, not America. Right? Let's get down to a bit more. Just a second, Akim. Alright, here we go again. So since the economic crisis, a crisis in the US and Germany since 1970 onwards, it has always been a matter of time, actually, like Glazebrook told RT. The whole world is in a deep global capitalist crisis. The US is unable, and under Donald Trump, is unwilling to finance the military umbrella over Europe, he said, adding that this was only one reason that led to the plan. On the other hand, the EU is realizing that subordinating itself to the US is increasingly a game of diminished returns. The expert noted. He cited the example of Ukraine, believing that France, Germany, and other European unions had no interest in starting a trade war with Russia, but the US maneuvered them into doing it, right? So what we're seeing the experts saying is that the reason behind this European army or this EU army, right, as set apart from NATO, is that the European nations are tired of US policy. They are tired of living under US hegemony, right? Because as the article says, the EU is realizing that subordinating itself to the US is increasingly a game of diminishing returns. So they realize that they're not profiting from US policies. All it's doing is bringing them into a more precarious situation, because the trade war with Russia affected Europe significantly in a very detrimental way, and it didn't really affect America that much because America is not on the European continent, right? So Europe is realizing that the American policies, right, under which NATO acts, because basically America is the head of NATO, right, is no longer in European favor. So instead, they are now forming an EU army that will act independently of NATO, right? What is the significance of this, right? Let's go to the precept. Revelation 17 and verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, which are the EU member states of NATO, right? The 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, which you know the beast is NATO, right? And the 10 horns upon the beast are 10 European member states of NATO, right? It said, these shall hate the whore and make her flesh, and make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. How we see that this is happening? Because these European member states, which are also members of NATO, members of the beast, are forming a different alliance, right, that America is not included in, right, because they want to escape from US hegemony and US control, right? It said, for Yahweh hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give the kingdom unto the beast, and unto the words of Yahweh, until the words of Yahweh be fulfilled, right? So it is possible that this prophecy, it is very possible that this prophecy will be fulfilled using the EU army, right? Because the EU army will act independently of NATO. It would not be answerable to America, right? It will only act in the interest of the European member states, right? Just like the article said. Let me just read it once again just to make sure that the point is there. This last paragraph here. On the other hand, the EU is realizing that subordinating itself to US is increasingly a game of diminishing returns. The expert noted. He cited the example of Ukraine, believing that France and Germany and other European countries had no interest to start a trade war with Russia, but the US maneuvered them into it, right? And again, if the EU, want to act independently, if they want to stop being used, then they are going to have to strike on their own, which is this EU army, right? So it is quite possible that this precept, this prophecy here in Revelation 17 and 16, where the 10 horns hate the whore and burn her with fire, right, will be fulfilled by this EU army, right? It's clear. It's pointing in that direction, right? So the Lord, step by step, is bringing in all the pieces of the puzzle together in order to fully bring about his prophecies, So we live in a wonderful time, We live in a very glorious time where the word of the Lord Yahweh is coming to pass before our eyes for the brothers that are watching, right? Because the precepts are watch as well as pray. So we have to be watching for these important news articles that are coming out, that are in relation to the prophecy, to go out and teach the people, and warn the people, our nation, the elect that will hear, that these are the words of the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. These are coming to pass. This is how they are coming to pass. This is the news updates that are the geopolitical moves that are bringing them into play, and this is a major one, Right, so that's basically it for the breakdown. So with that, I hope this was edifying to the Akim. Again, all praise to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, and double honors to our elder apostles. Right, Shalom.